Hey everybody, this is Jack Moffett with Black Fox Productions with another vlog. And in this next series of videos, in these next three, I'm going to be talking about how to shoot a wedding video. This can be very intimidating for a lot of videographers, but it doesn't need to be. So what I'm going to do is break it down into three parts: before, during the shoot, and after the shoot. And in this video, we're going to be going into before, what you need to do before the shoot. So I'm going to assume a few things: that you've signed on with your couple, you've signed the contract, you've negotiated your rate, you've got the date nailed down, you're ready to go. So what do you do next? There's a lot of groundwork that needs to be laid down before you ever set foot on the venue. So we're going to go into that right now. Okay, so you're going to notice a theme throughout this video, and that is communication. Communication is key no matter what profession you're in, but it is very important in videography. And the very first thing you should do when you get signed on with a couple is you need to communicate with them about what type of video they are wanting. Okay, so some couples want just the ceremony filmed. Some couples want an epic film that takes place over the entire weekend. You need to ask them these questions. What style of video are they looking for? What type of video are they wanting? What shots do they want throughout the day that they absolutely cannot miss? These are very important questions, and this should be the first thing you do before you do anything else. From there, you need to meld their vision of what they're wanting with yours together. And that needs to be what creates the ultimate creative side of the movie or film. Is basically you need to have it so that you're kind of mixing what they're wanting mixed with what you're wanting. Some couples will say, you know, you handle everything, you tell us what to do, and that's perfectly cool. And then other couples may say, no, I really want this first look with my dad. I have to get that. That's something that I have to have, and then everything else is yours. It depends on what the couple's wanting, but you do need to communicate with them beforehand. Have a video chat with them, hop on a phone call. Very, very important. Okay, next tip: research the venue. Hop on Google, see if you can take a virtual tour of the venue. If they don't have that, get on their website and look at pictures, and you can go ahead and start getting inspiration for your shots. If you're within driving distance, even better is to take a tour of the venue. You can go ahead and start getting ideas of where you'd place the bride and groom. You can get all kinds of ideas, and not only that, but you might get to know the venue owner, and you can develop a business relationship with them. There are a million positives for doing this, and I would highly recommend it. It might sound like an obvious tip, but I would definitely recommend doing this before you ever set foot there, or you fly there, or travel, or wherever you're going. Okay, so next tip is you need to communicate with the wedding planner. This one's very important. The job of a wedding planner can be very, very stressful, and there's a lot of responsibility on their shoulders at every hour that goes by of that day. So what you need to do is you need to get on a phone call or email the wedding planner and tell them what your shooting schedule is. We'll get to that in just a second, the shooting schedule. But you need to communicate with them about the shots you're wanting. Okay, so let's say the bride and groom have requested a shot of them, you know, walking through a forest hand in hand, and you need to figure out what part of the day when you can get that shot. Okay, well, you go to the wedding planner and you say, listen, there's this one shot that I really want to get, and I want to do it right after they've done formal photography. When can you schedule that in? Okay, well, they can help you out. They can put it right there in their itinerary, and then when wedding day comes, they can pull aside the couple right after they've taken the formal photographs. They can pull aside the couple and say, hey, go aside with the videographer here for a minute. You pull them aside for, 10, 15 minutes or so, and you go off by yourself and you get the shots that you need. This is, I can't emphasize how much easier your day will go if you communicate these things to the wedding planner beforehand. It's going to make the difference between your day going very badly or your day going very smoothly based on a schedule. And next up, we're going to talk about communicating with the photographers. And this leads right into my next point. And you're going to notice, again, communication, if you notice the theme here, but you need to communicate with the photographers. And this is probably the part that's probably the hardest for a lot of videographers, myself included, right in the first few weddings I did. And some other very popular videographers on the internet have mentioned this, and it's very true. In those first few weddings, I would kind of just follow around with what the photographer was doing. Instead, what I wanted to do was differentiate my wedding video from the photos. Like, I wanted my wedding video to look different and not just be a moving form of the photographs. I wanted all the shots to look separate. Because, I mean, they've already got the wedding photographer there taking the photos, so why not do something different? Why not make something of your own? And this is something that's kind of hard because you don't want to step on the toes of the photographer and you don't want to be rude, but at the same time, you got to get the shots that you need. And this is kind of a hard thing for a lot of videographers to deal with. So here's what I would recommend is that before you ever start getting ready for the shoot, you need to communicate with the wedding photographers and reach out to them and say, hi, I'm so-and-so, I wanted to introduce myself, and, even better, you can compliment them on their work. And right off the bat, you have absolutely started off on the right foot. Even better, as a pro tip, is if you send them the shot schedule that you have already created. And again, we'll get to that in a second. But if you send them your shot schedule, just money, you're absolutely going to be in their good books because they know exactly what you're wanting. And they'll know what blocks of time you need throughout the day. Whenever that time comes for the shots you need, you can go, oh, well, hey, can I borrow the bride for this shot for 5 minutes? She won't be gone 5 minutes and you'll have her right back. That is going to mean the world to the photographers. And in fact, I have been complimented on this as my communication skills on the day of in working well with the photographers and not getting in the way of their shots, making sure that you're kind of working around each other in a nice, smooth tandem. And that can be very hard. But if you start out this way, I guarantee you, you're going to really thank yourself later. And not only that, but the photographer will probably want to recommend you after the wedding is over. And they'll go, wow, that guy was, or girl, was really on the ball and said, hey, they communicated with me from the beginning. They let me know what I needed, and they were excellent at communication, and that means the world to a lot of photographers. So that's something that can kind of help whenever you're getting ready for your wedding day. Okay, so last tip, and this one is going to set you above the rest of all other videographers. This is going to take you from amateur with a camera to professional that knows exactly what they're doing, and that is to make a schedule of your shots that you're wanting throughout the day. Make a shot list and then schedule it out. I actually sent a schedule to a wedding planner on the last one that I shot, and she was just amazed. She had never had any other videographer do that before. I cannot recommend doing this enough. Basically, what you need to do is you need to take the itinerary that the wedding planner gives you and go ahead and make a shot schedule that it kind of works in tandem with that itinerary. And you could say, well, you want to arrive at 10 o'clock in the morning to get establishing shots of the venue. You want to go ahead and get your aerial photography done. Okay, and then throughout the day, you tell the wedding planner, I want to do an interview with the bride at 11 o'clock, for example. Okay, well, the wedding planner, as we've already talked about, is going to love that. You know exactly when you need to be somewhere and where you need to be. I can't tell you how helpful this is in planning your shoot day. Everybody is going to want to kiss you over this. It is just really, it makes everything so much easier, less stressful. Everybody knows exactly what you are needing and at what time. And those blocks of time, a shooting day can be very hectic. And those little blocks of time, even if it's for 15 minutes, you already know what you need to be doing throughout any time of the day. If you ever feel like you get confused about what you need to be doing in a certain time, you whip out your phone with the schedule on it. You go, oh yeah, we're supposed to do the ceremony starts at 7 o'clock, for example. Okay, well, you know you probably need to get over to the venue or the chapel or wherever it is, and you need to start setting up at 6:30 or so. You need to go ahead and get the priest or the preacher mic'd. Okay, well, you have everything right there in your pocket, and this is just, I can't tell you again how helpful that is. I think it's going to make a big difference in your shooting day, and you're going to really want to thank yourself later. Okay, so a bonus tip is pre-rig your equipment the day before you go to the wedding venue and shoot. Okay, so this is going to save you so much time when you actually show up on site. So for example, what I'll do is, with the RS2 like that, I'll go ahead and pre-rig it the day before. So whenever you actually get to the site on wedding day on that morning, then basically all you got to do is you just pull out the gimbal or your tripod or wherever you have rigged, you're ready to go. And I think that that's very useful and will save you some time when you're actually getting to the site, because whenever you're actually shooting on wedding day, time is of the essence. I mean, it might be only one day, but you're going to be busy all day long and you will not stop moving. And you want to be as mobile and as compact as possible, and we'll talk about that on the next video. Okay, everybody, so that's it for this vlog. I'll finish by saying that the more you plan, the better you communicate, the better your video will be. It's impossible to plan every single shot, and that's okay. But the better you plan, you're gonna thank yourself so much, and your video is gonna be that much better. Okay, so on the next one, we'll be talking about what to do during the actual day when you're shooting your wedding video. Okay, we'll see you on the next one, guys.